Federal Parliament stormed and scores arrested in a violent rejection of tomorrow's drastic Howard budget.
It's a very sad and unhappy day in the life of the Australian Parliament.
Good evening, Angela Pearman with ABC News. Demonstrators caused hundreds of thousands of dollars damage in Canberra today as they invaded Parliament House in a wild pre-budget protest. Dozens of police and protesters were injured as the throng broke through Parliament's bolted front doors. John Howard condemned the violence, as did opposition leader Kim Beazley. Union leaders disassociated themselves from the action, which overshadowed their own protest against the federal government's tough new industrial laws. Political correspondent Jim Middleton.
It was the demonstration that got away. A rally against the government's industrial relations plans, hijacked by union and Aboriginal anger over John Howard's big pre-budget cuts. Parliament's imposing outer doors proved as flimsy as a curtain. Security staff and police rushed to shore up the inner doors. The mosh pit protest became an organised assault. The just renovated Parliament House shop proved the line of least resistance, and demonstrators burst into the building's marble hall. Despite the human wall, the main doors proved porous too.
The Howard government was hoping that its strategy of getting the bad news out of the way before tomorrow's budget would ease the pain. This is a clear sign the strategy to date hasn't worked.
Arrests abounded. There were more than 30 injuries on both sides and a damage bill in the hundreds of thousands of dollars run up before the demonstrators were forced back. Police claim the protesters breached an agreement.
And we're all happy with the arrangements that were made, but the promise was broken.
Like a war leader during the Blitz, the Prime Minister picked his way through the looted shop, praising the police. Sympathising with the injured, cutting short a meeting with union leaders in protest and condemning the demonstration.
It was organised by the ACTU. You can go to them. Obviously, it got out of hand.
I regret anything that has occurred, but I certainly don't bear the responsibility for it. Thank you.
You don't express your anger by knocking over the front doors of Parliament or knocking over policemen.
The opposition fear is that today's wild scenes have played into the government's hands, diminishing broader public concern about tomorrow's axe-wielding budget.
Rally organisers struggled to get their message across amid violent scenes just 400 metres away at Parliament's front doors. ACTU President Jenny George delivered a massive petition calling on the Senate to block the workplace reforms. The opposition and minor parties sympathise with the outrage over the budget cuts.
The majority arrived with peaceful intentions. Unionists, Aborigines, welfare groups and students from across the country joining in one anti-government voice. The catalyst, workplace reforms and budget cuts. Speakers lined up outside Parliament House to condemn the government, echoing the sentiments of an angry crowd.
It said it would govern for all of us, but it hates workers. It hates students. It hates Aboriginal people. It hates women who want to be in the workforce.
Green senators promised to vote down the new industrial relations laws.
To bury that bill. To give life to the ethos of this nation, which is a fair go.
The protesters then looked to the Democrats for reassurance.
We are saying to the government, the Senate has a perfect and democratic right to ensure that Australia has a fair and balanced industrial relations system.
And to the Senate, a petition with almost 250,000 signatures calling for opposition to the workplace reforms.
Our hopes rest with you to ensure that you do the right thing. That you do the right thing by people that don't have a voice in there.
Kim Beazley's signature was the most popular, but for the opposition leader, that was the best part of a dramatic day.